With these Pro Minute video series, Dr. Klee will share some of his secrets with you on how to become a better flutist.
Hello, my name is Dr. David Klee, and welcome to another Pro Minute. Today we're going to talk about advanced flexibility techniques on the flute. This is geared towards more of the advanced flute student, music educator, and or flute teacher. It's invariably, when I work with different band programs, different master classes I give at the university I teach at, one of the things I really see lacking in younger flutists is flexibility. The ability to slur any kind of a real interval, like a fourth or a fifth or an octave. They still lack the flexibility here, where they can move up and back. They tend to go. They tend to have a lot of problems with that. And you know, they know how to use the embouchure, they know how to work, and then they are slurring, but they still tend to be very stifled with the flexibility. Well, I've got a couple great books I've used over the years that really help a flute student do this, and I'm going to recommend them. There's tons more out there, but these are two I've been using for 25 and 30 years, and they work really well for me. The first one, I mentioned it in an earlier video. It's The Daily Exercises for the Flute by Marcel Moise. It's a fantastic book. Another one is The Flutist Progress by Walfrid Kujala. Great books. And so the biggest thing is, when they work on these exercises, usually what happens, they're not starting them out slow enough. I don't care if they're 16th notes or 32nd notes. You need to start slow enough to get the process going. You know, if it's marching 16th notes, you're not ready for that, don't do that. Mark them, you know, make sure it's really slow. And they want to really almost over-articulate the change in the lower lip. You can even have them practice with a mirror in front of them, where they can see the lower lip making that change, changing the ear angle. And then eventually, you know, put it to quarter notes, put it to eighth notes, put it to 16th notes. And I think what you'll find in time, they will gain that flexibility. Another thing I love to do with my students, I call that backward practice. A lot of students could slur it, but they can't slur down on octaves. They have a real hard time with that, the students I work with. So what I do, any kind of interval exercises on developing flexibility, I make them reverse it. If they go up to I make them reverse it to going down. And it really helps to work. And I have them over accentuate the embouchure with that change when they do it. And then eventually, you know, they build speed and they build flexibility. And then the most important thing here is when they do go high, they should not blast the high notes out. Particularly if there's an interval, the upper note. In fact, what I do with my students, I'll say play the bottom note like MF, mezzo forte, play the upper note, piano. And that really forces him to use the aperture and the embouchure. It really works well. And it's a great technique. Again, the biggest thing here, start slow. Don't be in a hurry. You're developing flexibility. Flexibility doesn't come overnight. You know, you have to start slow. Then you gradually build it, and over the days and the weeks and the month, you'll get it. In one of my earlier videos, I talked about there's a daily exercise program all aspiring flutists should live by. That includes tone studies, scale arpeggial flexibility studies, tonguing studies, etude studies, solos, orchestral, if you're high school, all state. And the important thing here is you do them every single day. Again, if you only have a couple hours of practice, divide up the amounts. So you're getting each category. You get them in 10 minutes here, 10 minutes there. You do that. And what will happen, it's a culmination of all this over the days and the weeks and the months. Your students will get better. It will happen. So I think if you try some of these little tips, I think you'll find that your flute students will be on their way in no time. This is Dr. David Klee. Thank you.